Cloutier, thank you so much for your hospitality today and the work that we're doing every single day that you've laid out. And to my friend, Foreign Secretary Ebrard, Marcelo, to our colleagues, and especially to President Lopez Obrador for the very good time that we spent with him today. We're grateful for the time that he gave us. I think today's meeting reflects the very strong partnership between our countries that has developed from day one of the Biden administration. And you see that across the administration. I'm joined today by my friend and colleague, the Secretary of Commerce, Gina Raimondo. We have the Deputy U.S. Trade Representative, Jamie White. We have other leaders across the U.S. government. You can see the breadth of Mexico-U.S. cooperation by the sheer size of our delegation today, which also includes representatives from U.S. Agency for International Development, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. So many colleagues who are not only here today, but are quite literally doing this every day, building, strengthening our cooperation. As many of you know, this December, Mexico and the United States will celebrate the 200th anniversary of our bilateral relations. Over that time, our countries have been bound by deepening familial, cultural, diplomatic, and the subject of today's discussion, economic ties. Mexico is the United States' second largest trading partner. The United States is Mexico's largest trading partner. Together, we have among the world's most skilled and integrated workforces, advanced industrial centers, a wealth of innovation hubs. When we put our strengths together, each of us becomes more competitive, our region becomes more prosperous. And what that means in concrete terms for our people is more jobs, better schools for our communities, more opportunities for small businesses, and I could go down the list. This partnership has grown stronger over the last couple of years. The United States-Mexico-Canada agreement remains our best tool for promoting North American economic competitiveness and actually delivering results for our workers. The high-level security dialogue that we will be picking up again in October is helping us tackle shared challenges like narcotics trafficking, human trafficking, as well as violence and insecurity. And the high-level economic dialogue that we held today, relaunched by our presidents, is making our economies more resilient and ensuring that we can actually take advantage of some of the opportunities that are out there, not just dealing with the challenges, but the real opportunities that we have. That was the primary topic of discussion when Secretary Raimondo and I met with President Lopez Obrador today with our colleagues. I shared and thanked President Lopez Obrador for the commitments Mexico made at the Summit of the Americas, including adopting the Los Angeles Declaration, which reflects a new regional approach to migration. We discussed shared efforts to address irregular migration in the Americas, including through humane border management policies and through expanding legal pathways and protections, as together we address the root causes of migration, something that Mexico and the United States are collaborating on in ways that we've not seen before. For example, our development agencies are working hand in hand in Central America, Northern Central America, to do just that. You just heard from Secretary Cloutier about some of the progress that we made today, the initiatives we're driving to boost competitiveness, to create good paying jobs, to accelerate North America's transition to clean energy. One of those initiatives that I think is important to underscore, and I'll also leave it to Secretary Raimondo to talk more about this, is the CHIPS and Science Act, which will provide funds to develop resilient semiconductor supply chains in North America. Major elements of the semiconductor supply chains are already well established in Mexico, with US-based companies like Intel and Skyworks conducting research and development, design, assembly, and test manufacturing in parts of Mexico. The CHIPS Act will incentivize more of this type of work. It will ensure that we can build these and other components that we need for the 21st century right here in North America. Tomorrow, Secretary Raimondo and I will travel to Indiana to visit a semiconductor factory and see the work already well underway to build the future in North America. Another initiative comes through the Inflation Reduction Act, which provides, among other things, tax incentives for electric vehicles and battery components manufactured in North America. It's a smart investment in a shared future, a way to create more jobs for our people, combat the global climate crisis, strengthen our energy security. And this is something we discussed with President Lopez Obrador today. Like all partners, especially those with relationships as wide-ranging as ours. There are areas where we differ. We're secure enough in our relationship to acknowledge those differences and also to work through them in very practical ways so we can serve the best interests of our people. The discussion that we had today was shaped immeasurably by the engagements that we've had over the past year, not just between our governments, but also with labor leaders, the private sector, civil society. Each step of the way, they've made us better by sharing their experiences on the ground, pushing us to do more and to do better for underserved populations, partnering together to implement sustainable solutions. Ultimately, that's how we'll build inclusive, broad-based economic growth that delivers for all of our people. So I just simply want to say thanks once again to our Mexican friends, partners, neighbors for the incredibly warm hospitality we've had today, but especially for the terrific partnership. I'm looking forward to making good on the commitments that we've made today, which we believe, will produce benefits for many, many years to come. Thank you very much.